Hey, yeah, hey, yeah. We got some fun stuff for you. The Soy Boys are coming out in force, y'all. They think they got what it takes to take us down. Bring it, Soy Boy. Come on, let me see your purple hair flock in the wind. Come on. Come on down to Pound Town. Wait, not Pound Town. Well, anyway, it's going to be ugly for you. Let's just leave it at that. And we've got Trump being vindicated. I'm sure you guys have heard, but we're going to break down the court case that Letitia James has just got so much egg on her face. And it is hilarious. That woman going to need a whole new cake of makeup on her. And then the usual go woke, go broke. So we got a Friday edition for you guys. We're going to laugh at the Soy Boys who are threatening us. We're going to look at the religion of peace. I'm sorry, not religion. The political party of peace and love and tolerance. Yes. And then we're also going to look at, of course, Letitia James and laugh at her. And then we're going to laugh at the go woke, go broke boyos. So it's just a fun Friday. Fun-filled Friday. It's a good day, guys. It's Friday. That's right. You gotta be it's Hawaiian Friday, guys. Come on, man. We're bringing it back. Gavin, the tough guy Newsom, threatens GOP. We're going to punch these sons of bitches in the mouth. Oh, sorry. I'm going to try to bleep that. Republicans are a threat to freedom itself and shouldn't be allowed to hold power again. So, again, you may have noticed that Gavin Newsom is gunning for 2028, and he is legitimately trying to rebrand himself. One, he initially tried to change his left-wing maniacal dictatorship. Oh, you guys have already forgot. Short-term memory loss. I know it's so difficult. Who locked down California? Who locked people up for trying to keep their business opens and saving and feeding their families? Yeah, Gavin Newsom. And then who fed himself at the French Laundry? Who kept people from sending their kids to school but allowed his kids to go to private school? Gavin Newsom, that's right. Is that what you want for the rest of the United States? You want this diabolical POS to have that kind of control over the entire United States where he basically locks people up except for the people that he's close to? Again, rules for thee, but not for me. That's essentially it. These guys love to project. Democrats have one key go-to: projection. They literally sleep, eat, breathe projection because all they have are false platitudes, false moral platitudes. That's all they've got. So he tried to rebrand himself and roll away from that. He had on his little fake podcast where he was trying to act like a moderate. He realized that was not winning anything. His numbers were dropping in the polls. So what does this chameleon do? What does he do? He instantly tries to change his tone again, and now he's trying to be a mirror image of Trump. And frankly, it's probably going to work because that's what the leftists want. The leftists want violence. The leftists want destruction. You don't believe me? Look at what's going on with the whole Russia piece. You've got left-wingers coming out left and right, and they want the situation to get bad. They want the war to continue. They don't want to root for peace. They don't. They would rather see 40,000 people killed a month than to have the peace come to fruition and that be a win for Trump. It's a win for the 40,000 people that have died. What is wrong with you, rainbow hairs? Y'all guys are just absolutely insane. Don't believe me? Oh yeah, that's right. Beto. Good old Bob. Hey Bob, you need to calm down. F the rules. Beto goes off the rails, says Dems will win whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Poor crying Beto. He was the one that, Bob, he wanted to come take your AR. Yes, we're going to take your AR-15s. Hey, Bob. Bob, you out there, Bob? Come to my front door and take it. Come on. Knock on my front door. Better yet, kick on my front door. For those of you who know, you know. Ah, poor Bob. Ratchet Crockett. Cruz gets knocked over the head. We need to knock Cruz over the head right there. We're going to knock him over the head. Did knucklehead. This is also the same woman who says the quiet part out loud, who ultimately admits that black people are more aligned with conservative values, but the left, the Democrats, have to demonize the right in order to keep black people on the Democratic plantation. Those are her words. Those are her words. She admits conservative values are more aligned with black people. Why? Because black people love family. They understand about hard work. I'm not talking about thugs. I'm talking about black people, black folk. You know what I mean? And then not only that, she actually came out and stated the quiet part out loud on the Democratic Party. They are taking dark money that they know is unclean, funneled through NGOs, taken from your and my tax dollars. Again, this is the party of tolerance, guys. And let's not forget the hippo. Yes, good old Pritzker, the hypocritical Pritzker. Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. Not only that, this is the same buffoon who lashed out at Texas, even though you've got Illinois as one of the most gerrymandered states in the entire union. I mean, what more do you want to say? Oh, you want me to continue? Yes, let's not forget Waters. Get confrontational, get in their face. Harris, protests are an essential component of our democracy. What were they talking about? They're talking about the mostly peaceful, mostly fiery, less fiery protests of BLM riots. Yes, that Marxist organization that loves only one skin color and loves to burn down their own businesses. It's just absolutely insane. How many billions of dollars did they destroy? Let's not get into details. Let's just throw up some gang signs, do a little ACAB, and defund the police and let this keep rolling. Why are they supporting violence if they are all about peace and tolerance? Again, these guys project. They're absolutely insane. All right, man, let's get away from some of that anger stuff because we know those soy boys can't do nothing against us. We're going to beat them. And let's look at something funny that's come to fruition for Trump. Good old Letitia James. Letitia James, I'm sure you guys have heard this. The judge has stated the penalty violated the Eighth Amendment's prohibition of excessive fines. Fine, good, well, whatever. There's a bigger issue I have with this. Yeah, that does violate it, but what about the bigger issue as far as what they've done to attack Trump over this? That's right. This has been so long an ongoing litigation that a lot of us have forgot as far as what this was all about. Let's look at exactly what has happened and see why there's a bigger issue here than this cop-out that the judges did. So this was a decision just the other day issued in a hearing in which the appeals court was skeptical of the case. In essence, said one of the judges, the penalty for Trump faced amounted to something close to a commercial death penalty. And that was the goal. Letitia James ran on going after Trump. That was her goal. That was her openly stated goal, to be partisan. Okay? This is supposed to be an objective, nonpartisan position where she ran on going after her political party's rival. Okay? We got that? Is everything cool? Good. Because remember, this is all about tolerance, guys. Peace and tolerance. New York Supreme Court Justice Ingarone, I can't even say the dude's name, but he's nasty. If you haven't seen this dude, I should throw a picture on it. He looks like a gremlin. I mean, the dude's a goblin. Ruled against Trump, leaving him a judgment exceeding $460 million. Whoop-de-doo. We're going to get into a bigger issue that he's done. The appeals court ultimately affirmed the judgment. However, the panel of 5 judges were divided. So this is where I have issue. The appellate court said, yeah, he did the rigmarole. He went through the court case, and yeah, he did it right. But, you know, the biggest issue was this amount. It just came out of nowhere. However, 2 of the judges, Moulton and Justice Diane Renwick, said they thought that Letitia James acted well within her lawful power in bringing this action and that she vindicated the public interest in doing so. So 2 out of 3 essentially said, yeah, this is what we wanted. So they're partisan hacks. They basically openly admitted, yeah, we like that she went after Trump, even though what this court case basically stated is bogus. But they did admit that the penalty was excessive. Again, this is kind of like Kagan versus KJ, where Kagan is a leftist hack, but she at least tries to wrap herself with the cloak of the Constitution and trying to have some sort of judicial opinion that makes sense, while KJ is an absolute lunatic. The majority of a court, though, thought the judgment should be vacated in addition to the penalty, and one of the opinions noted that James has not yet proven her case. Justices Higgett and Rosado joined in opinion saying Rogan's judgment should be vacated and new trial ordered. So 2 others basically said, yeah, this is complete illegitimate, shouldn't happen in the first place. That's what should have happened. I'm kind of very curious why the majority of the court thought the litigation should be vacated, the ruling should be vacated, even though they didn't follow through with that. Somebody explained that to me, how essentially they said, okay, well, this ruling is excessive, but we're not going to vacate. Instead, we're going to just say, well, you need to rework the penalty, which is insane. Trump's going to eventually appeal this, and he will eventually win. Why? They openly stated in the ruling that she did not prove her case. They openly stated that Letitia James did not prove her case against Trump. So, again, if you had actual nonpartisan hacks on the appellate court, they would have came to the same conclusion. She didn't prove her point. Why? Because it's very apparent. And we're going to get to it. Rainbow hair, calm down. Calm down. Breathe. Put that paper bag over your head. Breathe a little bit. Calm down. Take it off. And then we will point this out to you where this is insane. Did not formulate appropriate penalties. Okay, that one, that's the whole point that we're talking about. Let's get into the bigger issue why this case should have never come forward. Things to remember. Letitia James actively stated she was a partisan hack. She wanted to go after Trump. So she's a partisan, all right? That should be rule enough that this is not an objective person that needs to be at the forefront of a litigation against Trump, okay? That's what she ran on. That's not appropriate. That is immoral. That is unethical. But what do you expect from the tolerant left? Wall Street Journal and Forbes rated that the property's worth $350 million to $1.5 billion. This is the crux of the case, guys. Okay, here we go. Trump stated that the value was X. The courts stated, or Letitia James stated, it was a tenth of that value. All right? And therefore, Trump defrauded the banks, which he paid back. Okay? Do we got that? The courts made some arbitrary statement about the value of the Mar-a-Lago property. Trump stated the property was this. The bank said, okay, fine, we agree with that amount. We're going to loan you the money for this other enterprise. And then Trump paid the money back. So who got hurt in this? Okay, going to do a little Jeopardy timer. Dee, 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 dee. Bang. No one. That's indeed the correct answer, Rainbow Hair. Who got hurt in this if everybody got paid back? Bueller? Trump evaluated the property at essentially $500 million. Okay, that was his claim. That was his claim that the property was worth $500 million. Wall Street Journal and Forbes both had their own appraisers done. The values ranging from $350 million to $1.5 billion. Okay, so what's kind of in the middle of there? Would say $580 million run in the middle of that? Do you know what doesn't run in the middle of that? What the Letitia James and her organization, her DOJ, her POS, axe to grind, stated that was worth $23 million. $20 million. Which makes sense. Come on, Rainbow Hair. Make it make sense. The banks in the court case refused to testify in the prosecution. They did do a statement, though. Their statement stated that they suffered no damages and would do business with Trump again. Not only that, the banks, guys, sent their own appraisers to Mar-a-Lago. So who did Trump defraud? The banks sent their own appraisers down there. They did their appraisal. Trump said, no, it's this. And they're like, fine, sure, that's good enough. Why do you think they did that? Do you think that the appraisers probably said, yeah, that's within the realm of reason? But again, we're dealing with leftist idiots who are not connected with reality. Let's move on. In Rogan, or whatever this Goblin, we just say him Judge Goblin. Judge Goblin did a few things that Trump didn't sue on that he probably should have or could have or is keeping in his back pocket. He didn't allow a jury trial, which I don't think really helps Trump much. But that's still a point to point in, is that you are allowed a jury trial. And they did not allow that because this guy is a nutbag. He proudly declares himself a Democrat partisan judge. Again, judges, are supposed to be objective. So this judge openly and actively does not like Trump and roots for the other side. And he attempted to censor Trump. He attempted to say Trump cannot talk about this case. This guy is an absolute nutbag. and does not deserve to be on the bench. Okay? Letitia James, let's look about this. Letitia James is under her own investigation right now. She lied about her primary residence. She lied about her property structure, and she listed her father as her husband. Okay? Is Trump going after her with her DOJ? Probably. Did she do these things that they're alleging? Probably. And it will get discoverable in court, but hey, at this point, you rainbow hairs are like, well, now he's just attacking people with the DOJ. If somebody comes up and hits you in the face and you don't hit back or defend yourself, what do you think they're going to assume? Do you think they're going to assume, well, he let me hit him in the face. I guess I can hit him in the face when I feel like it. Yeah. Somebody hits me in the face, guess what I expect them to, that's what they should expect me to do, is I'm going to hit them back twice as hard. Okay? If you do not, and a lot of you pacifists out there, you rhinos, you lukewarm conservatives, that's where you're missing the point. If somebody attacks you and you do not defend yourself, you're going to lose the war. You're going to lose. It's not the people that won America that cuddled in their cabins and hid and hoped everything. It was the men that got up, shouldered their rifle, and knew they had to fight to win. If you do not fight, you will not win. There has never been somebody that did not essentially fight back at a fighting opponent and win. I know there's some people out there that are calling out a specific person, a couple specific people. And if you do, type them in the comments. We can go over those, why those are exceptions. The exceptions prove the rule though, guys. Remember that. So go ahead. And remember, if you go woke, you will go broke. For those of you that don't care about Cracker Barrel, fine, I get it, but it is kind of a Southern tradition. I'm here in the South. So I do want to point out something disgusting that has happened. Cracker Barrel went through a rebrand. This woke CEO that is running Cracker Barrel right now has spent the last 2 years formulating this, going through a whole new ad campaign, whole new redesign. Now, Cracker Barrel's been essentially an institution in this country for, oh my goodness, like over 50 years. And it's been that way for 50 years. You essentially go in there and you expect Southern knickknacks, a little Southern country store, not a sterile, clean, McDonald's-like environment. You go there not necessarily for the food, but you go there for like good country cooking. How about that? Country cooking. And you can make fun of country cooking all you want. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is that you go in there for an experience, not a sterilized fast food environment, right? Whether you like Cracker Barrel or you hate Cracker Barrel, you think about it and it generates an image in your head of little knickknacks on the wall, country old-timey stuff, and a little shop and some, food. And whatever you think of that food, everybody thinks of the same food, all right? Whether you like it or not, that's not the point, but you think of that. That's the image it creates in your head. This woman has now completely destroyed that, rebranded themselves, and now they're kind of going in a fast food type direction. They've removed all the knickknacks, they've streamlined the dining room experience, and now it is not like going in a Southern style kitchen or Southern style cabin or Southern style home. It is completely like you're going into a fast food, get in, get your butt out, and we're going to turn some profit. And you might say, well, Malvi, that's their prerogative. That's fine. That's fine. That is their prerogative to make money. But what if that isn't working? I mean, do I need to say more? Okay. Oh, look at that little goblin. And what I mean by do I need to say more? Do you see this circle here? This is where she kind of comes online here. This is where it was going to be announced that somebody's going to come on board as the new CEO. She comes on CEO right here toward the tail end of 2023, okay? Since she has been involved, there's been a huge decline. There's been a little spurt and then another huge decline. This right here is where they streamlined everything on the back end. So since she has been involved, there's been a huge slide in the stock value. They finally got their act together, and they actually posted some very good wins March of this year. They beat expectations within the market. You see here this trend line that I've drawn out as far as where the market was going, and then you see this decline right here where they broke the trend line. Why do you think that is? That trend line where it broke down was just before the announcement because, again, insiders who have contacts knew this was going to happen. They pulled their money out. That's why you see that dip. And then the moment it got announced right here, so people saw the dip, some people bought, it went up, it got announcement, and now we're flatlining. You're going to see this continue to roll over and decline, and it's going to continue. This is a 10% drop, by the way, right here. Go woke, go broke. Everybody's remembering this is next Bud Light. I know I will not be a patron of Cracker Barrel anymore because I only went there not necessarily for the food. Hate me all you want. I'm sorry. But I went there for the experience. It was something you could go to, and it was an experience. And that was the whole point. When you take out that experience, you're alienating yourself a huge chunk of your patronage that went there for that specific thing, not necessarily for the food. Because who thinks of Cracker Barrel, I know, hate me all you want, for the food? You don't, do you? You might think, okay, I can get a bunch of flapjacks, I can get a decent breakfast. Yeah, but do you really go there because it's amazing? No, because you know you're going to get there because you know what you're getting, and then you go there for the experience, the down-home country type style, and that is now gone. So good job. Go woke, go broke, Cracker Barrel. I hope she gets fired. I hope they turn this around. Good luck to you. Happy Friday, guys. I hope I left you with a lot of good information here. Hope it made you feel good. Don't be a commie. Like and subscribe.